Good day, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank
Yes, we
you.
can hear you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, we can
Uh,
hear you.
I welcome you all to this orientation, which will focus on the GKS, that's Global Korean Scholarship. This program is organized by NSA-KNU here in South Korea. Global Korean Scholarship is an excellent scholarship that is capable of making an indelible change to someone's life. Yes, if somebody is fortunate enough or opportune to secure such a scholarship. Uh, in fact, there are several of GKS scholars that I know very well who were able to transition to PR after their studies. Obviously, everyone on this platform knows the kind of enormous and substantial benefits that accompany securing a PR in an advanced country like KNU. I mean, in an advanced country like South Korea. In fact, those benefits are inexplicable. So that means the scholarship worth to sacrifice for, and we encourage individual to do whatsoever it takes in securing the scholarship. But please quote me right, not by engaging in an illicit or illegal action in securing the scholarship. Please go through the normal route in securing the scholarship. Anyway, I'm Audu Sherif Abiodun. I'm a PhD student in the Department of Mechanical Engineering here in South Korea under the influence of a case scholarship. So we are planning of giving an orientation on the King Scholarship as well, although it's still under tentative. But if such an event or such an orientation will take place, of course, we definitely communicate through all our social media handle to create awareness based on this. Having said that, I'll be calling on to Mr. President in the name of Dr. Habib Alabi. He graduated from Federal University of Agriculture Abeokuta back home in Nigeria with a first class. So he had his MSc degree here in South Korea under the influence of King Scholarship. He's currently on his PhD to completion under the same scholarship, which is King Scholarship. So Dr. Habib Alabi, you have the floor. Please, you can proceed with today's opening remark.
Yeah, thank you very much, Engineer Aldi Sharif, and thank you for painting me beyond what I think I am. I'm grateful. So I welcome everyone to today's wonderfully organized seminar. We should be focusing on the Global Korea Scholarship, which is a government-sponsored scholarship. I could say it is the most prestigious scholarship in the whole of South Korea. So it is sought after and it has many benefits, as we might all know by now. So once again, I am Habib Alabi. I'm currently the president of the Nigerian Students Association here in Kyongbuk National University in Daegu. Daegu is one of the top cities in South Korea, along with the likes of Seoul, Busan, and so on. So if you're opportune to get one of the scholarship to here in KNU, you will be assured that you are coming to a family of Nigerians of diverse culture and everything. So I welcome everyone. Today's scholarship orientation will be covering all the tips, documents preparation stages, application tips and everything. So we've tried to ask callers that are currently on the program and the ones that are currently benefiting on the program to put together some very informative session for you guys. So I want to employ everyone to sit tight, to listen carefully, and most importantly, to ask questions if there is any clarification needed. So we hope that this program today will be very impactful for every one of us here. And if you have anyone that you know that could also benefit from this is a time to share the link to everyone that are not aware and across your social media platforms. Also, this program will be recorded and you can also stream it on our social media platform in case anyone misses it or there's any particular aspect of this that you want to check back later. So once again, I welcome everyone and I hope that this will be impactful. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity and stay with us till the end. Thank you very much.
Thanks so
Yes.
much, Mr. President, for the wonderful and insightful opening remark. Before proceeding to the presenters for today's orientation, we have two presenters for today's orientation. They are well-known and renowned scholars who have gone through the process of the so-called GKS scholarship. So they went through the process and fortunately, they were able to secure the scholarship. So those two scholars are on ground for us to give an insightful information and impactful knowledge that will enhance the prospective scholar out there to secure the scholarship without encountering difficulties. Obviously, to the best of our knowledge, these scholars have an in-depth information and they will definitely do justice maximally, satisfactorily, and comprehensively to today's orientation. So for today's orientation, we have four scholars in the name of Olumide Samuel Odeyemi. Olumide Samuel Odeyemi is a renowned scholar. He earned his first degree, that's Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical and Electronics from University of Ilorin with first class. So, and even he was the best grading student at the point of his graduation that time. So Olumide was recognized as a University of Ilorin undergraduate scholars from 2018 to 2022 and was awarded the University of Ilorin International Scholars Forum, that's UISF, in 2023. So in 2024, he was awarded the prestigious GKS scholarship and the Turkey Bursary scholarship to pursue his graduate studies in South Korea and Turkey. So currently, Olumide is pursuing his MSc in Electrical and Information Engineering at Seoul National University of Science and Technology, popularly known as SOTEC in South Korea, under the GKS program. So for the second presenter, we have Jolomi Mata. So Jolomi Mata is a graduate of Elizabeth University, where she had BSc in Media and Communication. She's currently pursuing the Masters of Science in Communication and Media at Elwa Women University with a strong passion for media and communication. She's dedicated to exploring the dynamic of storytelling, digital media, and global communication trends. An avid reader, Jolomi enjoys expanding her knowledge through literature. She enriches her academics and personal growth. She aspires to leverage her expertise to contribute meaningfully to the media industry, bridging cultures and enhancing effective communication on a global scale. So you can see the GKS scholars, that's the presenters for today, who are meant to be GKS scholars. They have an FT program. Of course, we pray that God Almighty should continue to elevate them and elevate each and every one of us here as well. So I'll be calling on to the first presenter for today, with the name of Olumide Samuel Odeyemi. Olumide Samuel Odeyemi, please, you have the floor. You can proceed with today's orientation. Thank you.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Hello, Scholar Olumide Samuel. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. I'm here.
Please,
Can you hear me?
could you please increase the volume of your this thing?
Okay.
So we can hear you clearly.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Please proceed with your presentation.
Okay.
Please, there is background noise there, please. It's really interrupting this program. Please, could you please get somewhere that is a little bit quiet?
Okay, is it from my side?
I don't know where the thing is coming from.
No, I think it's from one of the members, people that joined. So we can ask people to kindly mute your mic.
Please, could you
I
please?
think Abdurrahman saw you also.
Mr. Abraham, could you please mute your mic over there, please? Thank you. Okay, Scholar Olumide, you can proceed with your presentation.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you all for having me. I would like to share my screen. Okay. Okay, please, can we all see the screen?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen. Please go ahead.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So my name is Olumide Odeyemi, as my scholar has said. So I'll be walking us through the Global Career Scholarship Application Guideline. So I believe the other presenter will talk much about other things, but let me give a brief introduction about the GKS. The GKS, as we all know, is the Global Career Scholarship, which is sponsored by the Korean government, by a arm of the Ministry of Education known as the National Institute of International Education. That is the NIED. And the main purpose of the scholarship is to mainly improve the relationship, the diplomatic relationship between South Korea and the participating countries. In our own case, to increase to improve the relationship between Nigeria and South Korea. So the scholarship benefits include a round-trip airfare, tuition fee, then insurance fee, and monthly stipend. The tuition fee is going to cover both for the language program here and the master's or PhD program. Then the insurance fee, the monthly stipend. So for the application, I believe the other presenter is going to do more justice on this part. So I'm trying to just give a background information so that I can just go through the other aspect that is assigned to me. So we have, for the Global Career Scholarship, we have two main application tracks. We have the embassy track and the university track. For the embassy track involves applying through the Korean embassy in Nigeria. In our case, we apply through the Nigeria. I think the Korea Cultural Center is in charge of this track. So the applicant will submit the application through the Korean embassy, that is the Korean embassy in Nigeria. And from there, they are going to be invited for interview. After the interview, the successful candidate will proceed to will be shortlisted, and the application will also be evaluated by the National Institute of International Education in South Korea. That will be the second round. After the second round, sorry, I hope you're all following.
We are following
Yes.
you. Continue, please. We are
Okay.
following you.
Continuous. Continue.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So after the second round of shortlist by the National Institute of International Education, the successful candidate in this round, their application document will also be forwarded to the universities of their choice. Then, after that, they are going to be invited by those universities for another round of interview. If they are successful in that round, then they will be awarded the scholarship. So that's for the embassy track. For the university track, applicants will apply through a Korean university. The applicant, in this case, the applicant that wants to apply through the university track has to select only one Korean university to submit the application to. So the university is going to screen them whether through interview or whatever means that is decided by the university. So if the applicant is successful at the first stage of the screening by the university will forward the application document of application packages to the National Institute of International Education, NIED. So the NIED will thereby do the shortlisting and then release the final. That is for the university track. So in summary, the embassy track involves applying through the Korean embassy in Nigeria, while the university track involves applying through a Korean university. For the embassy track, an applicant has the opportunity to apply to 3 schools, while in the university track, an applicant can only apply to 1 Korean university. So those are the differences. So as I've explained earlier, for the embassy track, the first round of selection has to be done in the embassy in Nigeria. In our case, the Korean embassy in Nigeria. Then from there, they move. If an applicant is successful at the first round, the candidate would be recommended to the National Institute of International Education, that is the body responsible for the scholarship, the ones that are organizing the scholarship. Then from there, successful candidates will be in this round. Will also be shortlisted in the second round. At the second round, after the second round, successful candidates here, the application packages will be sent to the participating to their selected university. Then the university is going to shortlist them. For the university track, the applicant has to apply through a Korean university. The university will conduct their screening, and successful candidates here will be recommended to the National Institute of International Education, which will do the final round of selection. So for the eligibility criteria, for those applying for masters, they must have their bachelor's degree certificate ready. It must be a bachelor's degree holder. And for those applying for the PhD, they have to have their master's degree. There's no direct PhD from bachelor's to PhD. That is not applicable under the GKS. Those applying for masters have to have their bachelor's, and those applying for PhD have to have their master's degree. And all applicants must be the applicants and their skin and their parents must hold citizenship of NIA designated countries participating in the GKS program. So, fortunately, Nigeria is one of the NID designated countries. All these they are also in the application guide. Then we have the academic requirements. Academic requirements in form of percentage, that is 80% or above in 100-point scale. If your school is using the 100% point scale, but I think most schools in Nigeria use the CGPA. So for those that use the 4.0, you have to have 2.64 minimum to be eligible to apply for the GKS. Then I think most schools use 5.0. For those using 5.0, you have to have a minimum of 3.23 CGPA. That is more or less like second class lower. The another requirement, the age must be below 40 years. Anybody above 40 years is ineligible to apply for the GKS. They must be in good mental and physical health. And those who have previously studied in Korea or received a Korean government scholarship are ineligible for the Global Korea Scholarship. So that is a basis for exclusion. Then required documents. So let me just skip through it. I believe Scholar Mata is going to do justice to this part. But I'm just going to rush through it so that to give background to what I'm going to concentrate on. Sorry, please. I hope we're all there. Are we following?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So for the required documents, okay. For the required documents, we have the application form. Those that are going to apply, the GKS application is open by now. So I believe those that are interested are well aware of this fact. So I believe we all know about this application form. Can be gotten from the Study in Korea website where the announcement about the scholarship is made. You have to download this form and fill it electronically. Fill this form. Then we have the personal statement. It's attached. That is form 3. It's attached to the form 2 and study plan. Then we have the research proposal for those that will be applying through the research route. Then one recommendation letter is needed. Then this one is not required for master's and doctoral program. Letter of invitation issued by the research program. For those that will be doing RGKS, that is research GKS, this is required. Then the GKS applicant applicant agreement is also part of the application form. Then that is form 7. Then form 8, personal medical assessment. This is just an assessment prompt for you to just tick. Just some basic questions about your health condition. Then consent to collect and use the personal information. Yeah, this is also part of the form 9. It's just like terms and conditions. Then this certificate from number 10 to number 17, this certificate requires consular confirmation. This part you have to be very careful. I believe Scholar Mata is going to elaborate more on this part, but let me just give background information about this. So applicant parents proof of citizenship and family relationship document. This simply means the applicant's parents proof of citizenship. In our case, It's just a proof that sorry, can you hear me?
We can hear you
Yes.
clearly. Please proceed.
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
All right, sir. So in this case, applicant parent proof of citizenship and family relationship document. This is just a proof that both parents, father and mother, are citizens of Nigeria. So what can you use as a proof? Mostly we use birth certificate as a proof of, okay, as a proof of their citizenship. We use their international passport or their NIN. I believe we all know NIN, National Identification Number, the slip or the NIN card, which is like our national ID card. Then the family relationship document, most people use the birth certificate, and some people have some other document they use, but birth certificate is mostly used because in our birth certificate in Nigeria, I believe it is written there, like mine, for example, name of my father, name of my mother, and my name and my date of birth is clearly stated on the birth certificate. So it's enough of a proof as a family relationship document. Shows that this person is my father, this person is my mother, I was born on this date, and I am their son. So the birth certificate has to be consular confirmed. It has to be legalized before you use it for the application. So then bachelor's graduation certificate, bachelor's degree transcript certificate and the transcript, then master's graduation certificate. For those that will be applying for PhD, they have to submit their master's graduation certificate, their master's degree transcript also. This one for those that will be applying through the research GKS, doctoral graduation, all these ones. So and we have some optional documents that are not very important in our case. I believe most of us are masters or PhD applicants. So the most important things here are the proof of citizenship of the parent, then family relationship document, master's degree certificate and transcript, then bachelor's degree certificate and transcript, and master's degree certificate and transcript. Those are very important. And other things, certificate of employment or working experience for those who have that, only applicable for global network program. So this is not applicable. Then other document here, we have score report of valid topic. So topic is text of proficiency in Korean. So if you've been learning Korean in Nigeria and you've taken the topic test, you have to submit. We've taken the topic test, whichever level you are, just submit it. And if you've taken English proficiency test also, that is IELTS and TOEFL or Duolingo, any of them. If you've taken it and you have the result, you can just submit it also. Then you have the awards and other certificates. This part is also important. When you are in school or during your undergraduate or during your professional journey or experiences, you've had some certificates or awards, please, you have to submit them. It will also boost your chance. Then the applicant passport copy. So by now, I believe those that are interested in applying for this scholarship, I believe we've gotten international passport, which is very important. That is our means of identification. So that being said, so let me just, this is the part I'm supposed to emphasize on. So I believe on this application and required document, I believe Scholar Mata is going to do justice to those things. And if you have questions, please kindly drop them. So important tips to consider while applying for the Global Korea Scholarship. So you have to prepare your important application document as soon as possible, especially those that need consular confirmation, that is your certificate, your transcript, your birth certificate, and if you have other certificate like death certificate, in the case of maybe one of the parents is deceased, you have to present that death certificate also, and maybe some other document that proves your relationship with your parents. So all those documents have to be consular confirmed. And also we have to take note that this process can be a bit challenging in Nigeria, because from my own experience, the authentication and legalization is not for me. I can only speak for myself, and for some other people that I knew of then when we were applying, it was not a really straightforward process. So it was a bit difficult. So you want to make sure that you've started. You want to make sure that you do these things as soon as possible and get them, because without your document being legalized, authenticated and legalized by the Korean embassy, you won't be able to use them to apply for this scholarship. So you have to make sure that you do these things as soon as possible. Then adhere strictly to the guidelines given on essay writing, recommendation letter, and document submission. These things are very important because the scholarship is really competitive, and this year also they've even reduced the quota as compared to last year. So you want to make sure that you are not putting yourself at any disadvantage. In the essay writings, in the personal statement, I think the guidelines were given or are given presently, even here, are given about the font size to use, the number of pages, and all those things. Please address strictly to them. If they ask you to use Time New Roman 12 font size, please use it. And your recommendation letter too. You want to make sure that you use a recommender that is willing to help you, not someone that will just write anything for you. Because for the recommendation also, guidelines are given. So maybe you have to plead with the person to follow the guideline to the letter, and also some other documents also. About the document submission, the procedures and everything is written broadly and explained better on the application guideline. So I want to tell you to read the application guideline, read it over and over again. If you don't understand anything, feel free to ask experienced people, experienced scholars to put you through. So you want to make sure that you adhere strictly to all these guidelines so that you will not put yourself at any disadvantage. And also find a good referee for the recommendation letter. This cannot be emphasized enough. You have to find someone, one of your professors in your undergraduate or in your master, anyone that has taught you, your head of department, your dean, someone that knows you personally and can write something positive about you that will boost your chance. Because the recommendation letter is only one, and you want to make sure that that one recommendation letter is well written and it puts you in a very good light before the reviewers. So that being said, so write compelling essays and send them to experienced scholars for critical reviews. This is very important because your essay is your selling point. It is where you tell the reviewers, the scholarship body, about your background, about your motivation, and about everything that is asked. So you want to make sure that your essay tells your story uniquely. Don't copy another person's essay, because these people, the reviewers, the scholarship body, they've reviewed a lot of essays. They are experienced people, so I think they can easily tell if something is genuine or fake. So you have to make sure that you write about yourself. You write, and also for the essays, they give some prompts, like in form of questions. So make sure that your essay do justice. Your essays do justice to those prompts given. So write about what you're asked to write about, and if you want to add, you can add. But make sure in all your writings, writings, make sure that you do justice to answer those question prompts. Then submit copies of your certification and awards in other documents category. This is a very important tip. Don't leave anything out, because in the list of required documents, they intentionally create a space for award and other certificates. So if you have any award, any of your certificates, or maybe by chance when you were doing your undergraduate, you served in some positions, extracurricular activities. Maybe you were the president of your faculty, president of your department, social director. Maybe you were the class rep, or all these associations, you did something, or maybe you even did volunteering work. Maybe you even volunteered. Please, all those certificate of honor, certificate of recognitions, please attach them. It shows to the scholarship body that you are an all-rounder student, or to put it, I don't know how to a better word to use. You are a student that is well to do. You know what you are doing. Even apart from academics, you did other things. So all those certificates, you have to include them to boost your chances. Also, arrange and label your document properly and neatly before submission. Yeah, as we all know that the application for the GKS has to be done physically. You have to submit your document physically. So make sure that they are well arranged, labeled, and packaged. Yeah. So it is advisable to fill the application form electronically so that they'll be able to read. If you use your handwriting to fill it, they might not be able to read your handwriting. So it's better to fill the form electronically. The form is in such a way that you can type on it there are boxes that you can tick and stuff like that. So fill them electronically, and after you fill them, label your if you're attaching, especially in this other documents category, label those things, label them. Your certificate, label it certificate. Those things, label it with a sticky note, then arrange everything chronologically as it is written here. Your form 1 application form, let it be the form 1 as your arrangement also has to be like that. Number 1, number 2, number 3, as it is written there. Then yes, this part, try to secure a professor, especially for those that are applying through the university track. It is not a requirement. It is not a requirement, but it will surely give you an edge from experience and also from my own personal experience. If you are fortunate to secure a professor, especially for those applying through the university track, you can be sure that it will boost your chance, especially at the first screening stage, which is at the university stage. If you are fortunate to secure a professor, just know that you are able to scale through the you are able to perform well at the screening, maybe by interview or by test, anyhow. You'll be sure that you will scale through the first part of the screening process. And if you scale through the first part of the screening process, you are like you are more than sure enough that you'll be able to get the scholarship. So for those that are applying through the university track, and for especially for those that are STEM based, that are going for STEM based courses, science, and so if you secure a professor, it's really going to give you an edge. Now, I'm just going to give some tips on essay writing. Then, about securing a professor, I'm going to emphasize more on it later, but let me just do this first. Tips on essay writing. Firstly, emphasize your strengths, such as your IGPA, class ranking, awards, and prestige of your previous institution to capture the reviewer's attention. This is very important. Your essays, especially your personal statement. For this GKS, we have 2 types of essay you are going to write. You have the personal statement and the study plan. Sorry, please. I want to know if you are following. Are we following, please?
We are following you.
Yeah,
we are following you.
following.
Continue.
All right. So you have to ensure that you emphasize your strength. What are your strengths? What are the things you are good at? What are the things you've achieved? How did you achieve them? So you have to a way to do this is to explain what you did, your experiences, your academic experiences, your undergraduate courses, the courses you took that are related to what you are going for, the Master's of PhD program, what you've learned from them, your work experiences, what you've learned from your work experiences, how has it contributed to your career trajectory, and how has it motivated you to apply for the Master's of PhD program you are going for. So you can, another thing is South Koreans, they are very big on class ranking, IGPA. If you are fortunate to have a good IGPA, in your undergraduate, please find a way to emphasize. Don't emphasize too much on it because it's already written on your transcript. So to just mention it in a way, yeah. So that is that about that. And also the prestige of a previous institution. If your institution is prestigious, you can write 1 or 2 lines about your institution. They are very big on it. Actually, this tip on essay writing, let me just say it there. This tip were given to me by the professor I secured while I was applying, because I applied through the university track. So the professor just gave me guidelines on what to write on. So he gave me this. So this is what I'm giving out to you. So you can make do with it as it deems fit. And also avoid generic writing style. Make yours unique by telling your story and outlining your specific research and study plans. Now, right, especially your personal statement. Your personal statement, it is called a personal statement for a reason. It has to be personal. So we avoid just going online and just copying something online and just adding it to your story. And also avoid using ChatGPT to cook up stories. So make it personal. Make it as personal as possible. Yeah, to put it that way, because these people, they are experienced reviewers. They are reviewing several tests. They've reviewed and they are still going to review several. So they've seen different kind of essays. So I think they can easily tell if something is not genuine. So make sure that you write as uniquely as possible. Don't copy someone else's essay. If someone gives you his or her essay to use as guideline, don't just download the person's essay and just write it and just change your school and change your name on it. That will not work. Trust me. And also ensure that your essay contains answers to all the question prompts in the guideline. So if you look at the application form, in the personal statement and study plan forms, you see that they give prompts on what to write about. So make sure that you answer those question prompts. Make sure that you answer those questions. But if there's still time, I might show you. But I want to believe that because the application is open, I want to believe that most of us we've gone through these things. So make sure that you answer all those question prompts. You may add your own to it. You may add flesh and blood to it in whatever way you see it fit. But make sure that you answer those question prompts because those are the things they are going to use to grade your writing. And also, since this scholarship is funded by the Korean government, it will impress the reviewers if you state why you want to study in Korea. This is very important. Why you want to study in Korea? Why do you choose Korea to study your particular course? Why not go to the US or why not remain in Nigeria? Why not go to UK? Why Korea? So you have to give them a good point of why you are selecting Korea. And also what aspects of Korea you have been interested in. Yeah, this is very important because for my case, let me just use myself as an example. My major is electrical and information engineering, and my research area is going to be on wireless communication. So I made my research. Before then, I didn't know so much about South Korea's IT. I know that South Korea is a developed nation and it is high tech, but I don't know that they have some specific. They are also well advanced in IT to the extent that they have I think the second, if not the first. In terms of fastest internet connection, I think South Korea is, if not the first, they'll be the second. So when I was doing my research last year, when I was writing the essay, it was then that I discovered that. So I quickly added it since my research interest, my research area is going to be in that area of wireless communication, internet, and so I put it there. So they will know that I did my background research on South Korea. It's one of the reasons why I want to study in South Korea. So that is just it. So also how you can contribute to Korea in a way or the other, or the relationship between Korea and your country. As I've explained earlier, as I've said earlier, it's even written on the application guide. The essence of the GKS is just to improve the diplomatic relationship between Nigeria and South Korea, or between South Korea and your country if you are not Nigerian. So you want to highlight in 1 or 2 sentences why you're studying in Korea, why your course is going to contribute to the development of Nigeria, or it's going to contribute to the development of Korea, or it's going to contribute to the relationship between Nigeria and Korea. So those are the things that will make your essay a little bit that will put your essay in a more positive light. It will put you in a light before the reviewers that you know what you are doing. It's not that you just want to come to Korea for coming to Korea's sake. You want to come to Korea because it's going to contribute to you achieving your academic goal, your professional goal, your life's purpose in general. So tips on university track application. So as I said earlier, I applied through the university track. So I'm going to just give some tips on some useful tips on how to apply through university track. Like I've said, applying to the university track means you're applying to the GKS scholarship through a university in Korea. So the first thing we are going to do now is download and open the GKSG information, university information. So I want to believe that we've downloaded all these forms that are there on the website, Study in Korea website. Under the scholarship advert, we have all these files. I want to believe that we are familiar with GKSG university information. This file contains all the information of the participating universities, all the Korean universities that are participating in the 2025 Global Korea Scholarship. Their informations are there. So download it, then you search and select universities that are offering your course. The first thing you are going to look for are universities that are offering your courses, because not all Korean universities may have your desired course. So check universities. So you have to. It's going to be like a long. It's going to be a long process because we have a lot of universities here. So you have to check. If you don't have any university in mind, so you have to check one after the other. And if you have some universities in mind, first thing. And you can also use Google. You can use all these search engines. Search for prompt your your Google search and look for universities that are offering your courses. So you can just go to the university's file and check the requirement. Then check the requirement of this university. Very important. The application deadline for the university track. I think after the embassy track, immediately some universities will open for their university track application. So you have to be very sure of the application deadline. This is very important. South Koreans university don't joke with their deadline. So you want to make sure that your document arrive in the school at the before the closing date of the application. So it is very important for you to know the application deadline. And also you have to, for the university track, for those applying to the university track, you have to have it in mind that you are going to send your documents from Nigeria, your application document, you are going to package it and send it from Nigeria or from your country to directly to the school you are applying to. So you have to use the courier services. You have to use DHL or whichever service, whichever delivery method you want to use. So you have to send your document, and it must arrive to the university. Last year, when I was sending my document, it takes like 2 working days. So I don't know about now. I don't know. But as of last year, I used DHL and it took 2 working days. So you want to factor those things in your preparation. So you have to also check the medium of instruction. If the course you are applying to is going to be in 100% Korean, or it's going to be 50-50, maybe 50% Korean, 50% English, or it's going to be entirely in English or entirely in Korean. So you have to, it is very important. And also some universities may require TOPIK or IELTS, that is English Proficiency Test. So you have to check all these things so that you not apply for what you are not fit for. So there are a lot of schools to check out. So if one school does not meet your requirement, or you don't have the requirement of one school, you can check another school. It's so easy and it's so straightforward. And select the one that best suits your qualification and interest. Now visit the university website to learn more about the school and your intended department. This is very important. In all the files, all the university files, there is an Excel sheet. You can check about all the information about the university, and also there's a column there that has the university website and the website of your intended department, the direct link. So you want to check those websites and check it out. Read everything about the department you are going to apply to. It will also help you in writing your essays to show that you know about the school you're applying to. Now, this is just a general tip. Ensure to pick a safe school. This is quoted. That is a school that is not too competitive to improve your chance. Yeah. Because we are applying to a South Korean school as a foreigner. It is important for you to know that even South Koreans themselves are applying to some schools. There are some schools that are really, really competitive, even for the indigenous themselves. When you talk of Seoul National University, you talk of Yonsei University, you talk of Yonsei University, you talk of KST. Those schools are highly ranked. They are highly ranked. So if you want to apply to those schools, if you have it in mind to apply to those schools, you have to think very well. Even if you have 5.0 from Nigeria, you have to think it through very well, because those schools are really, really competitive, and some other schools also. And also we have type A and type B universities. And for university track, you can choose either of type A or type B university. But what I'm saying in essence is that ensure that the school you pick safe schools. Pick the school that the admission is sure. Yeah, I'm not saying that you should settle for less, but this is just a general advice for you to not pick something that is really competitive, that is too competitive, not really competitive, too competitive for you. And also check your qualifications well before you apply. On the university's website, check the intended department page for relevant information. As I've explained before, you have to check the university's website and check your department website. On the university website, you can go to your department. If you are applying for mechanical engineering, go to the mechanical engineering department and check for professors whose research interest align with yours. So this is how, like, a tip to secure a professor for those that are interested in securing professors. Go to the university website, go to the department website, check for professors. Yeah, check for professors that their research interest align with yours. Yeah, especially for those in the STEM field. Yeah, basically from what I've seen in South Korea, all their STEM is physically research based. Yeah, if you are in the STEM field, science and technology and mathematics related fields, you are basically, most times, yeah, maybe scholars can testify, can say more about this. But from what I've seen so far, most of it, they are research based. Yeah, they are research based. You have to go to the lab. So each of the professors have their lab where they accept students. So check for professors. Even if the professor, if you've not secured the professor, you just see the professor. It is something that will put you in a positive light before the reviewers. When you write, include it in your essay that in this school and in this department, I've seen the Professor Limio, in which research interest I'm interested in. The professor might not have accepted you or anything, but just to show that you've done your research well and you know that this school, you know this school and you know that this school is the best place for you to study your course. So it is very important for you to check the university's website and check the professors that have your research, that are working in your research interest field. And also, after finding a professor, maybe you've identified a professor that you would like to work with, you like the professor's research, it is well related to your background, it is what you really want to do, then craft an email, express your interest to study under his or supervision, then attach your academic CV, certificate, and transcript to the email. So this is what we call code mailing. Yeah, for those that are used to that thing, this is what we call code mailing. Just express your interest in studying under the professor. So the professor might reply you, the professor might not reply you. It doesn't matter. Your own is just to make your research, to do your research on the university you're applying to, on the department you're applying to. So once you are sure and comfortable in the university you've selected, you can proceed with your application through the university, with or without the professor. As I've said, securing the professor is not a must. It's just something that will give you an edge. So if you have not secured the professor, it does not mean you are not going to be awarded the scholarship. It does not mean you are going to be awarded the scholarship. So you doing your background check is just to make sure that, to ensure that you know what you are doing. So that is just to ensure that you know what you are doing. You've done your research. You've done your research about the university. Now the last part is visa application. Yeah, this is just a later thing. Yeah. Then let me quickly rush this thing. My time is up. So the visa application, for those that are going to be successful, for the successful candidates, those that are awarded the scholarship. So these are the things you have to, the required document for visa application. It is very straightforward. Firstly, you have to know that once you are awarded the Global Career Scholarship, you don't have to pay for visa application. You are not paying for the visa. You are going to, it's covered, the scholarship covers it. You just have to present your documents. So one important thing is once you plan to apply for the visa, first thing is for you to check the embassy's website, the Korean embassy in Nigeria. Check the website and check the requirement, because their requirement changes per time. So these are just a list of documents that are required for the visa application. When the time comes, your university is going to guide you. The university you are going to in Korea after you've been awarded a scholarship. You have to have your passport, the visa application form, your passport photograph, your bank statement. These lists are those that are used because it changes. Those before me did not submit some of the documents yet, but these are the documents that I submitted to apply. Then you have a photocopy of your ID. These documents: certificate of business registration, certificate of admission from the Korean school, letter of invitation by the NID. These documents will be given to you after you've been awarded the scholarship. Then you have to use your submit your certificate and transcript also. Then certificate of TB test issued from the embassy, designated by the hospital. You are going to do a medical checkup, yeah, by some hospitals that are designated by the Korean embassy in Nigeria. So you do the TB test and all those. They are going to give you a certificate. You are going to use the certificate to apply for the visa. So as I've said, the visa application is very straightforward. Just when you've been awarded the scholarship, just check the Korean, or you better still contact the embassy and ask them for the requirement, because the requirement changes by time. So you want to be sure of what is needed and what is not needed. So that is just it. And you are not going to be paid. You are not going to pay. The scholarship covers it. You are not paying for visa if you are a GKS scholar. So that is that about that. So thank you for listening. So this is where I'm going to stop. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Scholar Olimide, for this insightful and impactful information, which I believe is enough to enhance individual chances of securing this scholarship. Thanks so much. We really appreciate the time you have taken in attending this orientation. So I'll be calling on to the second presenter for today, in the name of Scholar Matter. So, Scholar Matter, please, you have the floor. You can proceed with the orientation. Thank you. Hello, are you there, Scholar Matter? Hello. Thank you. We can't hear you. Scholar Matter, we can't hear you, please. I think she just joined the program now.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you clearly. And we can see your slide. You can proceed, please. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Martha Jeremy. Currently a student at Iwa National University, Iwa Women's University, and I am a 2024 JKS scholar. Just want to say welcome to my short and brief presentation on how to apply for the Global Korean Scholarship for Embassy Track. Next slide, please.
We can hear you. Thank
My
you.
points of today will be the benefits of a scholarship, application process, the required documents, and the visa application when you've made the final round. So the first point, which is the benefits. JKS scholarship is basically Korean Global Scholarship, which has the scholarship package is the airfare economic class ticket, tuition fee for up to 5 million Korean won, and Korean language training, which is for a year, monthly allowance, which is about 14.16 million Korean won per year, and degree program for 15.7 million Korean won per year. You also have research program under the JKS scholarship. The required documents. You need the most important required documents you need for this scholarship via embassy track is one, your proof of family relationship, which can be in form of your birth certificate, your parents' passport, or your parents' NID. Because I want you to note that when you're asked to submit proof of family relationship, if you don't have the same name, if the name of your parent on your birth certificate is not stated there in your certificate very clearly, or it's probably there's a mishap with the names, you have to have a court affidavit to prove that your parents are your biological parents and they are not from Korea. So this document is one affidavit, two your parents' national ID card or their passport. The second document you would need is your graduation certificate. Currently, I think you can use attestation for your graduation certificate, but before the final round of the list, the successful candidate list, you need to give send you NIED your graduation certificate for BSc or master's. Then you also need academic transcripts and letter of recommendation from your recommender. And you need either Korean or English proficiency test or both if you have. Then you also need a copy of your passport. And mind you, all those documents I stated have to be legalized at the Ministry of Education and at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abuja. Then it also needs to be authenticated at the Korean embassy, either at Abuja or Lagos. So registration. So when you're registering for JKS on the embassy track, note you because it's embassy track doesn't mean you are applying through the Korean embassy. You're applying through Korean Cultural Center, Nigeria at Abuja. So you have to submit all your application forms to KCCN, which is Korean Cultural Center, not the Embassy of Korea in Nigeria. The first step to your admission, to your registration, for your registration and your submission is at the KCCN. So once you submit your documents, all these required documents, plus you could add some other documents, because it's a competition anyway, so you need to add some documents that you think would be beneficial to your application. So when you submit that document to the KCCN, that is the first stage. The second stage is the document screening. So the embassy, which is the KCCN, has to screen the documents. This document screening stage is very, very, very crucial. So as a scholar or as an applicant, you need to organize your documents, fill your form according to the instructions that are listed in the form. When you do that, you also follow the rule of the recommenders, which is your recommenders letter has to be packaged in one envelope, but 3 copies of those letters have to be in that one envelope. And the signature of your recommender has to be on each of the recommendation letter and on the flap back of the envelope. In addition to your application documents, you need to submit this with ACN, and they will be judging on your packaging and your document arrangement for this stage of document screening. The next stage is the interview stage. So once you scale through the document screening stage, you'll be called for an interview. When you get to the interview, you just need to be yourself, be able to defend everything you wrote in your personal statement. Make sure you write a very compelling personal statement and study plan. After the interview stage, the next is the list will be released. Then your name will be forwarded to the NIED, which is the National Institution of International Education in Korea. Going to be forwarded to them, and they would basically recommend you to be selected for the scholarship. So once you get to the NID stage, they also go through your application document to check for any errors. This is why you need to authenticate all your documents, because whatever the embassy needs, NID would not miss. So you need to be very, very, very careful when you're filling your application form. And please do not lie on any of your documents. Don't put any false documents so that you don't implicate yourself, and you don't shorten the chances for your other country people. So after this stage is the next stage, which is the final stage, which is actually to me the most crucial stage of all, the third round. This is where for embassy track we have 3 stages, but for university track we only have 2. So this third stage for the embassy track is really, really important because you're given the opportunity to choose within 3 schools, your choice schools, your top 3 choice schools. So among these 3 schools, you need to be very, very strategic, because there's a chance that after scaling through the first round, the second round, you might not scale through the third round. And the reason why is when a scholar does not do enough research on the choice of schools. You need to research on your major, you need to research on the university you're picking, you need to research on the track. Is embassy track the best route for me if I'm going to be applying to this school with this major? You have to put that into consideration when applying. So this third round, once you scale to this third round, you either get an interview or you don't get an interview. In my case, the 3 schools that I chose, none um, offered me the opportunity to have an interview, which I actually loved, and that was one of the reasons why I chose those schools. So basically, I was judged through my application, my documents, instead of a face-to-face interview. So when you're done either doing your interview with the university or document screening, you're being sent and you're being sent and a letter, an email of either acceptance or rejection. Then once you know your final, like the schools that it chose you, you have to pick one and send the name of the school to NID, which is the final round where your name is going to be listed among the final um, list of successful candidates. Now, tips for embassy track applicants. Like I said earlier, the first thing you need to put into consideration is the arrangement of your documents. Number one, organize your documents smartly and accurately. I cannot emphasize on this enough. You need to make sure when the part that says delete all instructions from the form, please do delete that because they are very strict about things like this. Then also use bonding plates to hold each application copy. So for embassy track, we need 4 applications, 1 original set and 3 photocopy sets. And each of those sets, you don't use paper clips to bind your documents. Use a big bond of split to clip your documents together. Then label all pages and extra certificates for easy identification. You need to label your documents properly so that you don't stress the interviewers when they're trying to like scan through your documents. You can easily find whatever you want to like look for or whatever they're trying to judge you on. You can easily find it. Use small building clips or transcripts and for multi-page forms. So for your transcript and for like let's say from 1, from 2, and I think from is it from 6? So one of the from 1, from 2, most especially where your the front page and your essay, your 2 essays, those 2 forms for your 2 essays have multiple pages. So you need to use small paper clips to bind them together for easy access. Then remove unnecessary instructions and irrelevant fields. Like I said earlier, review your application thoroughly. Then the next is research your prospective schools and major. Check with your department, check the university quota for your department, then review the acceptance rate. This is a very important point in your application process. You need to review the acceptance rate of your school in terms of embassy track. This school that I want to apply to, do they accept a lot of Nigerians in particular or Africans? Do they accept a lot of Africans? And is the quota very high? So this is one of the criteria you need to look out for when applying to a specific school. Look for special benefits. So you have to look for other benefits, like is this school I want to choose offering better opportunities for me as a JKS student? Because in my case, my school EWA offers a discount with the dorms, which is also very beneficial to me. Visa requirements. You need the documents we need for a visa that after getting through with the final round, you need an authenticated document of all you need an authenticated form of all your documents. And you also need a TV test, a NID invitation letter, your prospective school's admission letter, your dormitory certificate and school business certificate, registration certificate. All these documents you have to compile them together and take it to the embassy to apply for your visa. Thank you everyone for listening. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can contact me through this link. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Scholar Mata, for this comprehensive information regarding how the prospective scholars can easily secure the scholarship and improve their chances. Thanks so much. So there are still some questions that the speakers have not been able to address. So although those those questions were compiled prior to this orientation. So I will try to kind of propel those questions to our presenters. So, and I'm very sure they'll be able to do justice to those questions. So the first question says, is it possible for HND holders to apply for this scholarship? So Scholar Olumide, please, could you address this question for us? Is it possible for HND holders to apply for this scholarship? Thank you.
Okay. Sincerely, I'm not really familiar with that, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if HND others because bachelor's degree is what they recognize as BSc or bachelor's degree, be whatever, be agric, be engine, and the likes. I'm not familiar with the HND. The only person, I think, one person that I saw that applied through HND, that had applied with HND before, did this, what do we call it? Is it top up diploma that converts HND to bachelor's? That was what the person did then to apply to a Korean school. So I'm not sure if an HND holder can apply directly to the Korean Global Korea Scholarship. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Scholar Olumide, for this wonderful response towards this question. So
I think
the
Scholar
second,
Johnson is raising his hand. He might have an answer to the question.
I will proceed to that section as well. I have to
All right,
kind of
thank you very
prepare
much.
the question that has been compiled before. So after I'm done with that, then you can proceed with the audience. That's asking, the audience can propel their questions to the board, so the scholars can answer those questions. So I have to kind of address those questions that have been compiled before. So prior to this orientation. Anyway, so the second question goes thus: that is it possible for second class lower division to apply for this scholarship? So, scholar Mata, could you please address that question? Is it possible for second class lower to apply for this scholarship?
If you're going to be using through ambassadors, I would say it's very, very difficult to scale through the interview stage because from my experience last year, there's a particular judge or interviewer at the panel that discriminates against second class lower. So I would say you have to have probably an extra degree or extra added certificate to boost your grade.
Thanks so much.
Yes.
We have another question on grant. Is there a specific CGPA that they mostly considered in awarding the scholarship? Scholar Olumide, please, could you address that question?
Yeah, I think it is clearly stated in the application guideline. They require CGPA for the application. Yeah, it is clearly stated. 3.23 over 5.0. I think that falls below. That falls in the range of second class lower. So your grade, I think they award point based on grade also, but you can apply if you have first class, if you have 2-1, if you have 2-2. Just that it becomes more competitive for you based on your grade. So those with first class have they have more upper hand considerably, and followed by 2-1, then 2-2. If just a piece of advice, like as Scholar Mata said, if your grade falls within that 2-2 range, that's 3.23, between 3.23 to 3.49, you may want to add some things to back up your application. You add your maybe professional experience, maybe you've done some online courses that are related to your intended program. So you have to add other things to boost your chances, because obviously you have first class, you have people with first class, you have people with 2-1 that they will consider that that will be given more priority. So there's no the required grades are on the application guideline. But if your grade is low, it falls between that 2-2 range, you have to add other things to boost your chances. So that's just it.
Thank you so much, Scholar Olumide. So this one goes to Scholar Mata. Please, is there a specific age limit in applying for this GKS scholarship?
I don't think there's an age limit. Once you're a graduate from a university in Nigeria, you can apply for the GKS scholarship.
Sorry. On the application guideline, if you are above 40 years, you can't apply. Yeah.
There is definitely there is age limit
Age
in
limit.
applying for the GKS scholarship.
Yes, if you are above 40 years of age, you can't apply for the GKS.
Thanks so much. And then there's another question here as well. Okay, can someone apply for the scholarship with a registered nurse diploma?
I'm not sure. Registered nurse diploma.
Diploma, yeah.
I'm not sure about that, because what is required is bachelor's degree, master's degree for those applying to PhD. I'm not sure if diploma certificate is acceptable. I'm not really sure.
Then the last but not the least question: how will someone increase his or her chances in getting the scholarship, especially at the stage of interview?
So improve your chance at the stage of interview. Yeah. Truth be told, the best way to improve your chances is in every stage of the application. While writing your essays, put in your best. While arranging and submitting your document, put in your best. While at the interview stage, I think the best thing for you to do is to contact experienced scholars. Sorry, to put in Nigeria term, to give you hints, to give you OT, to put in that language. They'll give you like important hints for you to prepare. Likely questions to expect, how to comport yourself. For instance, when I was applying for when I got to the interview stage for the university track application, and my school invited me for interview, and I contacted some scholars in South Korea about how to go about the interview, and they gave me some guidelines. They asked me to prepare a presentation slide, which I did. They asked me to, when I'm talking to the professor, I have to speak slowly, because in Korea, English is not their first language. So, and the accent, they might not be able to understand my Nigerian accent very well. So I have to speak slowly so that I'll be able to flow well with the professor. And they asked me to prepare for the likely questions related to department, related to research field, related to the course I applied to. So those are just those things. So when you get to the interview stage, do your research well. Research is everything. Research about the school, research about the department you're applying to, as I've stated earlier. Then if you need to prepare some things,
advertise. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Yes.
Scholar Olumide, please proceed.
Yes, sir. The Global Career Scholarship is yearly. It opens every year. Yeah, both for the graduates, and even there is undergraduate scholarship that opens every year also. So it's a yearly scholarship.
Okay, thanks so much. Mr. Onigbide, please proceed with your question.
Thank you. Good day, everyone. Thank you, scholars, for the presentations. The first question is that for the university track, is it compulsory to like have the Korean proficiency too? That's my first question. And my second question is, when is the deadline, application deadline for this particular year?
Okay. For the university track, the Korean proficiency is not required. It's not a requirement. But if you have it, it will give you an edge, obviously. But it's not a requirement. If you have it, apply. If you don't have it, you can also apply. And also for the application deadline for the embassy track, the application is open through the Korea Cultural Center. They've advertised it last week. It started on the 3rd of this month, and it's going to end. It's going to close by 24th, if I'm right. So for the embassy track, but for the university track, it depends on your university. So if you're applying through the university track, you have to make your research based on your university. So it is your university that will give its own specific application deadline for those applying through the university track. But for the embassy track, the application is open currently, and I think it's closing by February 24th for the embassy track.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Does that mean if a school is sorry, moderator? Does that mean if a school is like the admission this thing? So if the school is closing on April, then you still have the opportunity to you have the opportunity to apply till April.
If the school, what do you mean by if the school is opening?
What I'm trying to say is that if the application to the school is closing by April, do you still have the opportunity to apply for this JKS scholarship, GKS
Yes,
scholarship? COP?
yes, yes, very much. The school is
Okay,
the
thank
way
you very much.
they are going to give the advert is application for GKS scholarship through the school. So the GKS scholarship application for the school is going to start at social date and end at social date. So that is just how it is. That's how it works for the embassy track. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Scholar Lumide. You can proceed with your question, Nikki. Are you there?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon,
Yeah, we
sir.
can hear you.
Presentation. So, my question is, I was rejected from a university due to not having a topic certificate last year. So, I'm now preparing to write my own topic exam. So, my question is, would it be advisable to reapply to the same university, or should I consider applying to other universities instead? Because I was told that I should learn more Korean than I can reply to.
Could you please repeat yourself? Sorry for cutting you short. We couldn't hear you clearly, please.
Okay. I said
Yes.
I was rejected from a university a topic certificate last year. So, and I am now preparing to take a topic exam to apply for undergraduate program this year. So my question is, would it be advisable to reapply to the same university, or I should consider?
Okay. Scholar Mata, could you address that question? Could you please address the question?
I would advise that you you research again. Do more research because I feel the more school options you have, the better. You don't need to focus on one particular school. If you were rejected by a school before, there was a reason. So you need to research on more schools. And if you still want to apply to the same school, you need to um, figure out the reason why you were rejected in the first place and work on it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Ramatullah, you can go ahead with your question.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for the opportunity. So my question is, do the scholars have an idea how long it takes for the embassy to legalize our documents?
Could you come again, please? We can't hear you clearly.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly. Please speak louder.
Okay. I said, do the scholars have an idea how long it takes for the embassy to legalize our documents, the process?
Scholar Olumide.
For the embassy to legalize the document, it usually takes. It depends on the embassy. I did mine in the at the Lagos embassy. So basically, the secretary told me between 1 to 7 working days. So that's just what it. And at the time, sometimes I did the legalization up to at different times, at like 2 different times. So most of it just took like 3 working days. So within 3 to 7 working days, you'll be able to get the document legalized in the Lagos embassy, because I did mine in the Lagos embassy. I don't know much about the Abuja embassy. So within 7 working days, it should be done.
Okay,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Mr. Ndukwe, please go ahead with your question.
Okay. Good afternoon. I want to ask if the English proficiency test is compulsory, and also if one turns 40 by next month, is he or she still eligible to apply for the scholarship?
Scholar, uh, Scholar Mata, please, could you address that question?
Like Scholar Olumide corrected, once you surpass 40, you can apply for the application. So if you're going to clock 40 by next year or 41 by next year, I don't think it's possible to apply by next year, but you can apply this year though. And for English proficiency, I feel the scholarship requires either you know how to speak Korean or you know how to speak English. So you need one of those two documents, but you don't need to have proficiency in English per se. If since you graduated from a Nigerian university, you can request for proof of English from the university that prove that you studied in English at the university. So once your university issues this document, you can add it to your scholarship, your application form as an added document. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Oluwafemi, please proceed with your question.
Good evening. Sorry, good afternoon. Thank you very much for this opportunity. All right, so I have like I think about three questions. So the first question was I think one of the scholars mentioned a kind of document that states the age limit, that states everything. How can we have access to all of these things? That's number one. And number two, while Scholar Matter were projecting on the screen, I was seeing some money, 5 points, something Korea won, and all of that. Are we to pay for that, or is it fully funded by the Global Korean Scholarship? Also, for somebody like me, that I did Yoruba in school and I came out with second class lower. What if I want to go into the field of communication? Is it possible for me to venture into that field? Because my career path is a customer care representative, and also um do I need to like do I need to give them a certification of all this English proficiency certificate. And while we are adding extra certification for us that came out with second class, can we put in courses that we did that are related to our career path? Can we also add certification to that, like two or three, that kind of thing? Thank you.
Okay. Scholar Matter, I think that question is applicable to you. Could you please go ahead and address it?
I wasn't able to get the first question clearly, but the second question you asked pertaining you majored in Yoruba and you're undergrad, and now you want to major in communication for masters. I think you need to back up your application with um, reasons and certificates why you stating that you can actually make that transition. And since your grade was low at in your university certificate, your grade was low. So I think you should get certifications relating to media that can help boost your application for. Then the third question you asked, can you repeat it again?
Could you please repeat some of your question again, please?
All right. I asked that the first question I asked was all these the age limit, the application guide. How do we have access to it? Do they
So you have,
accept?
yes,
Do they?
you add them as additional documents. So every added document relating to your major, you add them as additional documents.
All right. Do they accept people that did education that has bachelor of education in arts or in a specific maybe bachelor of education in art, bachelor of education in science, and do they do undergraduate programs?
I don't know about that. I can't speak for that.
So if you are a graduate of like if your certificate is bachelor of education, they
Bachelor of what?
Bachelor of Arts in Education, Bachelor of
Okay.
Arts in Science. Do you have a
Uh,
chance?
yes, you can apply.
Okay. Do they accept undergraduate course for do they accept undergraduate students for nursing?
Uh, like I do not know about nursing because I'm in the social science field, but I would say one thing you should consider when going for nursing is, can you make the transition from English to Korean? Because you have to learn terminologies about nursing in Korean. So if you can be able to defend your reason why you want to study nursing in Korea, and how you can adapt and catch up with the studies for your nursing degree, then I think you can apply. But personally, I can't tell you for sure if it's a guarantee that you get the application, you get the scholarship. But I can just say that for you to venture into something like that, you need to prepare, you need to have a lot of documents to support your notion of wanting to study nursing in Korea, especially in terms of language.
Has your question been addressed now? Are you satisfied?
Yes, I basically need to know if those amount of money she was like she showed in the slide, if we are the one that's supposed to pay it, or if the scholarship is fully funded.
The scholarship is fully funded. Those amounts I displayed on the slide is the scholarship benefit.
So we still have
So
to
the
pay more.
scholarship covers your flight tickets, it covers your monthly upkeep, which is your stipend, it covers your tuition.
I think the
Can you
question has been addressed. So,
Yes,
Scholar Said, please proceed with your question. Scholar Said, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, good afternoon and thank you for your time. Okay, so I have a situation and I'm trying to seek an advice in that term. So I applied to the School of Computer Science and Engineering, and for that department, the requirement is that I have to get a recommendation letter from either a professor in the department or the head of the department. So the professor I would love to work under is under him. I already emailed him. I think that was since Monday. Yes, that was since Monday. And till now, I haven't gotten any response. And it was just like a very concise email. So I'm trying to ask. So I was thinking of it's proper for me to give it some days interval before I'll send a follow-up email. So I want to ask, okay, so I'm planning on sending another email on Monday, a follow-up email on Monday. So I want to confirm, okay, so if at all, or eventually, you didn't respond to that email again, what do you think I can do? Hello, can you
Scholar
hear me?
Olumide, Scholar
Okay.
Olumide, could you address that question, please?
Yeah. Okay. You've already sent an email to a professor. Then you are
Last
planning
week.
last week. Okay. You are
Yes.
planning to send a follow-up email.
Yes, this coming Monday.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The question now is it proper to send a follow-up email or not?
No, my question is, okay, so the plan is that I have to send a follow-up email, probably because the professor is kind of busy and he didn't have the time to check the email yet. So I want to
Okay.
send a follow-up email. Then after
Okay.
that, what if I didn't get a response after that? What should I do?
Okay. Okay. If you send a follow-up email and the professor does not reply you, after waiting for maybe after sending the follow-up email, you might just think of waiting for a few more days or probably a week. And if he does not reply you, is there any other professor in the school that has similar research area?
Okay, so my research interest actually it aligns perfectly with his research interest. So when I checked through the department, he is actually the right person that fits in that research interests. That's why
Okay.
I was trying to like get in touch with him on time before I submit my application.
And he's the only one.
Yes, he's the one that heads that lab.
Like in the old department, is the only one that is doing the research, or is there other professors? Are there other professors that are doing related research? It might not be exactly the same, but related.
Oh, I think there are other people doing something related, yes. But
Okay.
I think the best thing is to actually like get someone that can actually supervise what you want to do.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, okay. At the beginning of the question, it said the department make it compulsory that you must have a recommendation letter from a
Yes,
professor.
in it's actually KNU in the university file. It is stated there. So for computer science and engineering applicants, we are meant to like get a recommendation letter from either a professor that will serve as our academic supervisor, or we get it from the head of department. So I feel like getting it from a professor that actually have the similar research interest with mine is kind of easier. Should
Okay,
be
since
easier.
that, yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, that's the best thing. So I think since there's an option of the head of department, if the professor does not reply you, I think
Okay.
you might want to try the head of department. You get
All
it?
right.
So the head of the department just have to like recommend. It doesn't have to have your research, be in your research field. It's just acting as the head of department based on his duties his duty as the head of department. So if the professor does not reply, probably the professor might not even be on seat. Maybe he's out on conference or something like that. So you might want to
Okay.
try the head of department if that is the case. So that is all I can say about that.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Come. Please, the moderator.
Mida, are you there? Mida, please proceed with your question.
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. The presentations were really insightful. My question is, if I'm applying through Embassy Track, I'll have to send my documents. But how exactly do I send my documents? Do I take it to the embassy and then they send it? Or do I send it directly? Also, does it have to be original documents that I send? Because I don't know how that would be possible if I have to send original documents. And I have
I
another
think that
question.
question has already been addressed. Is that taking? So the scholars will not address that question. It has been addressed in the course of their conversation. So you can proceed with the second question, please.
Okay. My second question is that if a person already has a master's degree, are they still eligible to apply for a second master's?
Scholar Olumide, could you please address the question?
Yeah, I think it is possible. Yeah, because on the application guide, I don't think there's any exception to that. That if you have a master's, you can apply for another master's with your bachelor's degree certificate. Yeah, I think it is possible.
Okay, thank you.
HM, please proceed with your question. HM, please proceed with your question.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for this. It has been insightful. So I really do not understand between the embassy track and the university track, and also the issue of legalization of documents. I still don't get it because I'm asking because as at last year I did a legalization, but that was with MOE and MOFA. So will I still do another one? And which of the track do you think it's advisable to go for?
Are you done with your question?
Yes, sir.
Scholar Olumide, please just give a precise, concise answer to that question.
Okay. The difference between embassy and university track, I think, basically the difference is just for the embassy track, you apply through the Korean Cultural Center in Nigeria, and for the university track, you apply for the GKS through a Korean university. So that is just the difference. Then for the legalization, since you've done the MOE and MOFA before, I think you understand the process. I think you have to do it again because I think there is it expires. Yeah, it expires. The one you did last year, I'm not sure when you did it. Maybe you did it this time last year. Is like already a year. A year has passed, so it is advisable to do it again. Just go through the same process. Do the MOFA and MOE again. Then when you are done there, go to the Korean embassy for the legalization. So I think that is just it.
So I'll take the last question for today's orientation. That's I think Asians, you have already prepared the question the other time, so I will not take any question from you again. Let me see. For last, please, your question. For last, are you there? Fola, are you there? Anyway, I think Fola is somewhere else. She's not with her phone. So I'll be giving the floor to Johnson to give one or two inputs to what the first two scholars have disseminated. So, Scholar Johnson, please, you have the floor. You can proceed. Scholar Johnson, are you there? Okay, anyway.
I'm here.
Okay, please proceed.
Well, I just want to address, I think, about 2-3 questions that the scholars that present were unable to address. So, with the issue of applying with HND, it's possible, but not all universities in Korea accept HND. So, the person that wants to apply with HND might have to do the work to reach out to some of the universities that you identified to ask. Because, for example, like KNU, HND is only equivalent to undergraduate application. But I knew, based on 2022 in ASET, I think HND, as at then, I knew one applicant from Nigeria that applied via embassy track to Anyang University, and HND was accepted. So the person in question might have to do, the tedious work of reaching out to the international office or through the GKS program manager of the university want to apply to. So that's number one. Then the second question I would like to address is the issue of CGPA. So as Scholar Olumide has rightly said, 3.23 on a scale of 5.0 is the required CGPA. However, if you have less than 3.23, you can apply, but you will have to secure a top 20% certificate from your department stating that you are among the top 20 graduates. If you are, a kind of letter like that, and your HOD had to sign and stamp it. And, there is evidence on that because the set before Scholar Olumide said, there is actually a scholar studying at Suncheon National University that actually used top 20% certificate. So I would like to say that even if you have below the CGPA, required CGPA, you can still give it a shot. So don't let your hope be dashed, because I think, to me, GKS Scholar is not really a GPA-based scholarship. So that's number two. Then number three, with the issue of applying with is it national nursing diploma? Yeah, I think I got the question right. That is not possible. Yeah, in Korea, I verified that already. So yeah, those are my contribution. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Scholar Jonathan. Really appreciate individual for joining this today's orientation. We enjoy individual to follow our social media handle. Of course, we'll be reviewing SOP and CV for 15 people who follow our social media handle. So you are encouraged to follow our social media handle. Our social media handles are, we have our website, NSA-KNU @gmail.com. That's our email rather. NSA-KNU @gmail.com. Our phone number is 010-7369-9406. Then our website is nsaknu.com. Our LinkedIn handle is NSA-KNU/LinkedIn. Our Instagram handle is NSA-KNU. Our Twitter at NSA_KNU. Then our Facebook, NSA-KNU. Then our YouTube is www.youtube.com/@NSA-KNU8380. So I will repeat myself. So our email address is nsaknudego@gmail.com. Our website is nsaknu.com. Our LinkedIn is NSA-KNU. Our Instagram is NSA-KNU. Our Twitter is at NSA_KNU. Our Facebook, NSA-KNU. Our YouTube is www.youtube.com/@NSA-KNU8380. So you should please endure to follow our social media handle. Then we will be reviewing CV and the SOPs to the first 15 people who follow this our social media handle. So you can send your documents to the email stated. That is NSA-KNU Degu. The spelling of the Degu is DAEGU. NSA-KNU Degu @gmail.com. So you can send your document to this email. The NSA-KNU here in South Korea, we accurately review your CV for you and your SOP. That it will serve as a means of enhancing your chances in getting the scholarship. So having said that, the closing remark will come from our esteemed scholar, our doctor, in the name of Dr. Anis Rabi. Dr. Anis Rabi, you have the floor for the closing remark.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Firstly, I would like to appreciate everyone for joining today's section. It's so wonderful and so enlightening. And also, I would like to appreciate the effort of the committee that put this program together. Thank you very, very much for giving so much and giving back to our home country. We so much appreciate you guys. Then secondly, I would like to appreciate the speakers, Scholar Mata Ogi, who talk about the GKS scholarship, and also the second scholar, Scholar Olumide, who also speak extensively about the GKS scholarship. So GKS scholarship is a global scholarship, and it's very highly competitive because it's not only for Africa, it's all for most countries in the world. So it's open for a larger number of countries. So, but as Nigerians, we have a lot of opportunities because we have so many potentials. So we should try as much as possible to utilize all the information that are being shared with us and see how we can bring out the best from the scholarship this coming application cycle. So thank you very much, the two scholars who presented. Then also, I also used the medium to appreciate Scholar Johnson, who also gave valuable insights on GKS and also some clarification on GKS scholarship application. Thank you very much for your time and for the support for our Nigerian brothers and sisters. And also, I would like to use this medium to appreciate the executive of the Nigerian Student Association of the Quinpook National University, DEGU, for hosting every one of us because they are the major hosts. So thank you very much for bringing up this and also supporting the committee to stage this program this year. Thank you very much. I hope next year or maybe next application cycle we do something much more better. And also, I also urge every one of us to communicate with our friends to see how they can maximize this opportunity of this information. Then I also heard that I think this section is also being recorded, and there should be a video coverage of this, which should be recorded and shared on the YouTube channel of the association. So kindly look out for that and see how you can rewatch some of those information that are being shared. Then, as the moderator also said, that the social media handle of the association, kindly follow, share, and if you have any major concern, you can send an email to the association email. So there are viable scholars who will give you responses on that. So also I also like to appreciate our moderator before I forgot that engineer, thank you very much for moderating this section. So we sincerely appreciate your effort, and as well as everyone who had contributed to the success of this program. May the Almighty God reward every one of us abundantly, and I hope the future we reward every one of us for all the goodness we are sharing for our brothers and sisters back home in Nigeria. Thank you very much. And in Korea, have a wonderful night, and in Nigeria, have a wonderful afternoon and enjoy your weekend. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, Dr. Anis. I wish everybody all the best. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
I missed it. I missed it. I
You missed it.
missed it. Mm,
Dr. Anis, please can I ask you a question?
I didn't
Okay.
join in
Okay.
time. I just saw
Okay.
it
What's the question?
on my
So
play.
answer
Kai.
part of it though. So like um now there are some online courses that I took, but I don't know if they are worldwide, if they are world recognized. Do you get? So is it compulsory that I can't use those certificates to like add to my what's it called to this thing? So do I have to go and take up Coursera courses so that I can get a certificate on Coursera since it is world recognized?
Okay. Are you the person that asked about the question of you study Yoruba for your undergraduate and you want to do a course related to communication?
Yes, sir. I was the one, sir.
Yeah, I think what I can just advise based on my own little understanding is that firstly, let me just be frank with you. I'm very sorry. Don't mind me for saying that. Korean most of the Korean scholarship in Korea they are STEM oriented scholarship. Yeah, so if you are in STEM, you have a higher chance of getting scholarship. But non-STEM, there are also scholarship, but it's like the number is very little. So and might have to be how will I say it? It might be a little bit more competitive. So I'm not discouraging you, but just try to like let me try to say that so that I can clear your mind. So that well said. Then on the other side, I think if you want to switch courses, the best thing I can suggest for you is try to take relative courses. For example, I study. For example, now maybe I study. What can I say? Let me say I studied agriculture and agricultural science, and I want to switch to computer science. For example, now. So definitely, if I had done a programming language, or maybe I'm very good in programming skill, I have a skill, so I just need kind of a certification. Maybe I took a course from Udemy or data camp or something like that will show that okay I'm proficient in this and something like that. So it's more or less like I have my undergraduate, then I have something, maybe I've added a kind of a skill that will boost my chance of the new area, new field I'm trying to move into. So definitely I have high chances of competing with others who might even have their majors in those fields. But I won't discourage you because for the fact that you study Yoruba in undergrad doesn't limit your chance of switching your career path or your postgraduate education. All you just need is just try to see how you can get a well more recognized courses to do. I think if you can take some courses on Coursera, I think it's much more better than organizations that are not being well recognized. Because these days, globally, there are challenges about confirmation of information. So it's better you take up a courses from a well recognized institution or organization than an organization that will be a little very, very difficult to confirm their eligibility. So I think that will give you a better chance to compete with others. So that's what I can suggest.
Would the
So I don't know whether
recommendation my would the recommendation from my HOD for my department in school, because I went to the University of Ibadan. So would
okay.
a recommendation from my HOD would it really like do much help? Although I'm still going to like take a course up in Coursera also. So will it also still help and aid the application process?
Yeah, definitely. Recommendation letter we had a clause. Let me just say, let me give you an instance. Admission cycle, there are a lot of people that usually applied. Then one of those things, like they used to do points. For example, I don't know the system point, but they used to use points. They say like maybe you have a first class, maybe you have 10 points. If you have a 2-1, maybe you have 8 points. If you have 2-2, maybe you have 6 points, something like that. So then if you have additional qualification, it might just be like maybe additional 5 points or additional 3 points or 10 points. So if you have a recommendation, definitely all scholarship will require 1 or 2 recommendations. So I don't know for GKS, I don't know but on average, most scholarship programs or most postgraduate scholar program abroad mostly used to request for the minimum of 2 recommendations. So I don't know about GKS how many recommendation or reference letter they request. But if you have a recommendation letter is a plus for you. But don't forget that every other individual who is also applying, we also have a kind of a recommendation letter from maybe from a referral. Let me just use that word. Maybe from their HOD or their level advisor or maybe their mentor. So I think the best thing for you to, in order to boost up your chances after getting a recommendation letter, try to see if you can do a short time courses on Coursera. Maybe you can see some of them for hours. And also, I also advise maybe some other individuals who are also interested in taking Korean language. You can do some Korean language courses also online. I think that will also boost up your chances. So, but for you, pass to be specifically, since you are switching your career path, like what you did in undergraduate, so you just have to do a little more extra effort to do more courses related to the new field you are moving to, you are transiting to. So I think that will just give you the chances of getting scholarship in that area. So that's what I can say. I don't know if I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, sir, but GSK, the GKS is talking about 5 points. In my school, during my set, that was when they stopped using 7 points and we started using 4 points. So,
Yeah, you just do the conversion.
how?
You can do the conversion. If, for example, now, if I graduated with 4.0 on the scale of 5.0, so I'll just do 4 divided by 5 multiplied by the new don't let me use 5. Then let me say I graduated with 3.0 on the scale of 4. So I'll just do 3 divided by 4 multiplied by 5. So then whatever I get will be over 5. I don't know where I get my calculation. I should come again. If our CGPA is over 4.0 and I graduated with 3.0, so it's going to be 3.0 over 4.0 multiplied by 5. Whatever I got will be my CGPA over 5. So if you're on a scale of 7 points, it's going to be, if you got 6.40 over 7 multiplied by 5, whatsoever I got will be my CGPA over 5. But also, if you didn't get that, you can just check it on Google. So you can get Google Converter. There are some websites, I didn't remember the names, on Google that can help you do the conversion. It's very simple.
Thank you very
So
much.
I think, yeah, but I think if you have further questions, you can send an email to the NSA email. So I believe there will be viable individuals who will respond to your questions and concerns. Just try to send an email. And I believe people will reach back to you if we have any further concern.
Good afternoon.
So,
Can I
yeah, good.
ask
Okay.
a very quick
Okay.
question?
Okay.
Thank you. If you are using the university track and when you check the university and they don't like require the English proficiency test, that means you don't need to take the test there.
Yes.
Okay.
I think
And
okay. Okay, continue.
okay. And if you are sending the document to the university through DHL, like how do you make sure it gets to the university itself? Because you don't know who is going to be receiving it on the other hand, or do you like have to get the contact from the school that will be receiving the document there?
Yeah, I think mostly about the sending of documents. Also, when I was also coming to Korea, I think about, was it 5 years or 6 years ago then? So I know I wasn't a GKS scholar, so I came in through another scholarship. So I sent my documents to Korea via DHL. Then what we also did, I think then there are some other friends who were applying together. So we tried to gather our documents together and we sent together the hard copy, the original copy of our documents, and we sent to the university. So and they got it. So we only communicated with the Office of International Affairs. So most universities used to have Office of International Affairs. So most times they used to be in charge of receiving all those documents. So whatsoever communication you want to make, you just try to exchange an email between yourself and them. So they will tell you once they get the documents. Because also on the university you are applying to, you will need to send it through an address. So definitely you need to check that address of that university of where you are sending it to. If it's the Office of International Affairs or graduate school, or sometimes it might be the GKS correspondent of that university. So you need to know which office you are sending it directly to. So once you know that, you try to get the email. Mostly they used to have those information on their website. about where the university are sending those documents to. So once you get that, you just exchange an email with them. Then you can also check when you are sending your documents, you have to also get the tracking number so that as to check how your document is moving. So and as soon as they got the document, they will let you know that document is being received. And after